Okay, so let's look at this chart here. And if you look at this chart here, you'll see where I start out with a 4 here. See these 4? These are these 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're looking at a representation in the chart of the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And these 4, they converge into 3. And here we are, 1, 2, 3. So these 4 become these 3. And so this is Mars, Venus, Moon, and Jupiter becoming the Sun, Mercury, and Saturn now. So Saturn is a very, very important role. There's many things you can learn about Saturn. For example, Saturn is the only place in this entire chart that has Saturn before the 13th position, and it doesn't have it as a singularity, is the position 8. And it's not even listed here, but position 8 does have, and I'll show you another description of that. Basically, you have 16 signs in the zodiac if you want to get technical, because as you're running through these energies, Mars is created in the singularity. Then it splits up again to Venus, Moon, and Jupiter. And understand where the positioning of Venus is up here. Do you see that what happens to Venus? By what position? Let's look at it. Which position is this? Well, look. This is the first, second, third, fourth position. So it takes 4 positions for Venus to transit from the second octave into the first. So what does this say? This says that Venus being the first here, see, Venus is the second. See, it's not first. Mars is first. But there is no Mars in this one, see? So what do we know from the first to the fourth? Well, we know many things. Like I said, there's so much in this chart to teach someone who's interested. It's called self-learning through the spirit teaching you. Basically, from here to here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4th. Mars disappears. Well, Mars becomes a full singularity here in the 3rd and disappears in the 4th. So Mars is literally starting out in the 1st as the first energy and the most dominant, and Mars is not in the 2nd position. Mars will be in the 3rd position as a full singularity. See here, Mars is like a quarter. That's the 1st quarter, 2nd quarter, 3rd quarter, 4th quarter. Mars is only 25% empowered here, but is starting first, which is ultimately powerful. But by the 3rd position, Mars becomes in Gemini in the 3rd, right here. And Mars becomes now a singularity where there is no other energies, but Mars is conquered. Mars in the 3rd has become a powerful singularity in the 3rd to master the entire. Yeah, this is Mars taking up all 4 quarters as $1. So if you look at this, the first quarter, that's 50 cents. So look at the transition of the moon. The moon becomes Mercury here with Venus, and then becomes Mars. So Mars literally eats up everything by the 3rd position and disappears in the same position. So once you got Mars here, there is no more Mars here. It's gone. So we have Venus. We have the moon, and we have Jupiter. See how we have Venus, the moon, and Jupiter here in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th position? So what disappears? Well, fully, they all disappear in the 2nd position, and it becomes the Sun, Mercury, and Saturn. By the 3rd, Mars has mastered the entire thing as a singularity, meaning this is 4 quarters that is $1, and then it's, well, 33 and third cents, but that's not really in monetary value. You couldn't really split it up like that. But look, this Mars here is $1. So 4 quarters turns into something entirely different, and then into $1 called Mars, and then back into. So what happens to the moon? Do you see the moon reappears in the 4th? The moon is in the 1st position in the 3rd octave, and now the moon disappears into Mercury with Venus mix, and now is totally gone in Mars, as Mars masters in the 3rd the entire 3rd position as a singularity. Now it's $1, and then the dollar disappears back into 3 energies, which Venus, Moon, and Jupiter. See the order of it? Venus, Moon, and Jupiter. But Venus now has the 1st position. Moon has the 2nd position instead of the 3rd, and Jupiter has the 3rd instead of the 4th. And now again, as it goes into the 4th position here, and becomes, the 5th, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and the 5th, it becomes singularity again, and that's the sun. So how long does it take the sun to arrive in astrology? Well, the sun, we think of the sun as first, like it's a star. Well, understand that the sun does not arrive until the 5th position, until here. This is the sun. It doesn't exist until here. Do you see? So what that means is that you can clearly see Mars is the first energy that starts out. It's the singularity in the masculine. And the feminine is Venus. It's the singularity in the feminine. And the moon is not a singularity. It's the feminine plural. And Jupiter is the masculine plural. And now you look where it turns into the sun. Mars and Venus are lost into each other and become the sun. And now understand it's only in the as a 33% strength. So the sun doesn't become $1 until it hits here, which means that when you mix Mars with Venus energy, well, you're going to get, you won't get, Venus will lose until position 7. So let's look at position 7. See this position 7? It's Venus in a singularity, which means Venus has to wait till position 7 in order to become mastering the entire singularity. Venus will always be split. Mars is the first one to get the reward. That's the masculine Aries. That's the one, it's the selfish man that says, I take the power first and the third in Gemini. And that means Mars is the first to conquer the energies as a singularity. Well, that's truly as starting out in the first, as the first quarter, it's ultimately the first one. It goes first. So it basically, Mars is very commanding here in the energies and then disappears. And now Venus has the first position. See where Venus is here is where Mars was. So Venus has stolen or taken the first position in the 4th position. That's Venus right there. See that? And now it goes back to the sun in the singularity. And now the sun is the result. What is the sun? The sun is the result of all these energies becoming not Mars, but the sun. And what is the sun? It is the 5th. It's Leo. And the sun is Leo, and Mars is Aries. So you have Aries and Leo, the first two fire signs, mastering the singularity by the 5th. And there's no other signs to do it. By the 6th, right here, you have again, now Mars taking the lead. After the sun, Mars takes the lead from Venus again, and Venus is gone. Do you see how Mars is stealing the show again? Mars is first, Mercury second. Now that's where Venus is. See, Mercury is a combination of Venus with the moon. So this is Venus and moon together. It's called Mercury. And Saturn is here for the second time. Do you see how Saturn's in the second position, in the 3rd spot? And now Saturn disappears and doesn't come back till the 6th position in the 3rd spot. It's still in the 3rd spot. Saturn, and I'll continue.